Hello Divine Ones, this is Fairy Dust 1111. I just wanted to jump on real quick. I just got these cards. They have been speaking to me. I've posted new readings over on the IG page, which is Instagram for those that may not know. And so for those that are new to the channel, hey, what's up? I am a twin flame, also a twin flame counselor and teacher. Okay, and so let's see here. So we have the crown chakra. I also hear royalty with this card, and we have the number 7. So the 7s have been speaking to me for the past couple weeks, especially speeding up. Okay, we have the number 7 on the board. So the number 7 deals with celestial, angelic, and divine communication, as well as ancestral communication. All right, and so the angels have been speaking. The angels have something to say, and I hear they're whispering in the masculine ear. And this could be the masculine aspects of whatever gender. It doesn't really matter about the gender. It matters about the energy. And so the masculine is about the logic. And so breaking down the mental. And the reason why I laugh, because I heard hot breath, like, so some could actually be like clairsentient, so they can feel angels, like literally feel them. Like, you know how you would feel something like that? They could literally feel it. But that's for a certain set of them. But for others, it may just come as a divine thought or an epiphany, if you will. And with that comes, when that healing comes through, that information, it's bringing healing. Excuse me, I meant when the information comes through, it brings healing. And so they're in the healing process. And this is also talking about, it doesn't matter about the sex. This is also talking about if you're feminine, like one that identifies as a female, this is the aspects of yourself, the logical mindset. And then the spirit is talking about that. We have the key. Okay, and so the angels are giving those divine ones keys. The keys. What is the key? The key is the mind, because the mind unlocks all types of potential. Okay, so the mind could also represent that static electricity in between. I hear the parallels, and so parallels are like, you know what a parallel is, like two lines that run continuously together. And so this is talking about the spiritual aspects as well as the physical. So bringing a something that may be a thought into existence. So something that may be on the spiritual realms or the energetic planes, and bringing it into existence. And so how do you get from right here to right here, and actually in the physical sense? And so you have the key. And I actually posted the last video I posted over here. It's like a scripture, but we go into depth. And once again, I'm also a biblical teacher. However, I don't use the biblical text in the traditional mindset, okay, in the traditional way how it's taught. I think the way how it's taught typically is to suppress the mind, to take away the key from the individual. However, I look at the timer and it says 3:16, so backwards will be 6:13. That number has been coming through. So 6:13 deals with higher wisdom, higher knowledge. And so you have been given the keys on how to desuppress your mind. So imagine a deflated balloon. Okay, you have the deflated balloon, but the key represents the air, the helium that goes inside of that balloon, so the balloon can ascend when it's let go. You know, when you let go, that's the magic. That's when the magic happens, when you let go of control of it. Okay, so we have the 7 and the 7 over here, so pretty much 777, and having the key come through that unlocks all of those doors, all those activations that's coming through. Hold on. Okay, so the crowning of the chakra. Okay, so this is the crown. Okay, I know it says crown, but what I'm talking about is the crown. Like for kings, or queens, for people to know that they were royalty, they would put the crown, they physically put a crown on top of their head, so everybody could look at them and know that they are royalty. However, this is talking about being crowned with a different type of glory, if you will, a different type of royalty. So you see the color purple, royalty. And this is talking about the aura. This is talking about the halo, the continents, that people will know you by your light. So in the biblical text, the manifesto Christ said that by the light you will draw all men unto you. And so when they see you, they know who you are. even if they don't know your name, they still know who you are. So think about the first time, for those that may be have divine partners, or if you haven't met yours yet, you know, this is something to throw out there. So, you know, you will have this knowing when you first meet your divine partner, like, oh, like that soul recognition, like, oh, I recognize them, I know them, I see their light. Their light looks very similar or very familiar. And it's because you guys, I hear twinkle and dwindle in the same light. Okay, so imagine the fireflies, and they're dancing around, and then you may have a multiple different types of hues of the lights, as well as brightness of the lights, but these two resonate and permeate on a certain light frequency that is like no other light frequency. And this is also talking about that new information that comes through. I also hear sexual portal as well. Like, I have to mention this, okay? I have a video, and then it speaks about the sexual activations and healing through the act of sex, okay? And using that energy to heal, to activate, to receive information, etc. And so this seems like building up to the climax, and then that climax with the great pleasure that comes with the climax is like you receiving some type of information. That portal is open. This also looks like the pupil of an eye, all right? So that third eye that's opening up, which makes reference to, this actually looks all like an eye, really, makes reference to the 613, makes reference to the unveiling, makes reference to what they will call the, they call it the devil, or it's just the resistance. It's the suppressed 3D mind and the eye that is closed, and lifting that veil. So imagine when you have your eye closed, the skin is over top of your eye, and so it has to be peeled back. So that way it can see, because if your eyes are closed, how can you see? You have to lift that veil up that you call your eyelid so you can see. And that's what's going on, all right? And this is, so for this is the masculine energy within us all of the divine ones. But however, especially with the masculine, I hear they're rumbling, they're roaring. And so it's almost like they're sort of kind of going in between, fighting it. It's like as if there's two of them, and they have the set of keys, and they're fighting over the set of keys. Like you have the logical mind, and then you have like the spiritual mind, or the higher mind, the higher self, and they're back and forth, back and forth. It's not really the higher self. Excuse me for saying that. That just came out the wrong way. It's not the higher self. It's like the two aspects of this individual. More so talking about the psyche. I know the psyche could be considered, like in some sets, they call it also like the psyche can have an aspect of the spiritual or the soul or something like that, but this is something completely different. So it's almost like the two compressions and suppressions of the mind, okay? You know how I've been talking about that? And so it's like the logical mind on one side, and then like the more unlogical, the more childlike, the more playful, the more imaginative side. And it's not quite the higher self. It's like it's still within the 3D realms. So it's something completely different. And they have the keys, and it's like two children fighting over the keys, which is the mindset. Okay? All right, let me see if this spread has anything else. So over on my IG page, I had a reading, and this is the first one, and the spread had me to read it a different type of way over on the page using these cards right here. If you want to, you could check it out. If you want, it's like Fairy Dust 1111. It's spelled the same exact way. And I have an extended reading on the IGTV, and it's like about 5 minutes, but it's different types of information. So I think that this is the masculine energy, and I'm feeling like this is the feminine energy. And this message was referring to the priesthood, the royal priesthood, and being handed some type of new information that's coming through. And like the information is continual. It's like who is a portal to receive that information. So let me remind myself, as well as to remind you too, that I'm going to link the video about working with your sexual energy. And then what was the other video I was supposed to add on? The video that I just posted, it's supposed to be, you know, the mindset, and it's from the biblical text of Mark 4, 3 and 20. Okay, It's not traditional sense. Okay, it's new, it's old knowledge, but it's explained a different type of way. Okay, and it's going to open up the mindset, open up the pupil of the eye, so one can see things differently and from a whole nother perspective. Okay, all right, so you guys, if you could hit the thumbs up button as well as leave a comment, that will be a great help, because the more engagement, I was about to say information, the more engagement that the video has, the more that YouTube will push this information to more divine ones. And this is what I think, I really do believe is a message, not because it's coming from me, but because this is the information that the Spirit is giving to me. I'm just the mouthpiece. I'm just the portal. Okay. And you know, this is a community which we're really trying to grow in knowledge. You know, it's not just about the divine partnership. This is the way how to get to the divine partnership. However, we have to activate change. All right. And so the key that unlocks the mindset to bring different things into your life. And so if you could do that as well, if you're interested in joining the Patreon page, link is down below. If you're interested in personal counseling services or readings, that's down below. And for those that have given the 613 Higher Wisdom, Higher Knowledge Energetic Exchange, also known as a donation, thank you guys for that. That link is also down below, as well as my Instagram page. So you guys, I will talk to you later. Peace.